What do you need?
I need you to identify yourself.
No, why?
Because you're leaving the area where a shooting occurred.
In Grand Junction, Colorado, that is Aaron, a veteran of the U.S. Marine Corps.
I've done absolutely nothing. I pulled into a gas station because my friends are here.
Okay, if you fail to identify yourself, I'm going to pull you out of this car and detain you for obstruction.
No.
Because right now you're interfering with my investigation.
No.
Aaron is exercising his constitutional rights and educating police.
Reasonable, articulable suspicion that me, have committed a crime. Not anybody in the area, me.
Police in the area are on the lookout for a dark-colored sedan, but they have not stopped a dark sedan a few feet away occupied by white guys.
But you aren't stopping them and questioning them. You stop me. I am a free American, a veteran Marine who's done 4 deployments to fucking Iraq. You're not going to come up to me and try to intimidate me.
In addition to the racial profiling, the police keep refusing to identify themselves.
What's your name and your badge number? What's your name and your badge number, sir?
I'm not going to give that to you.
You have to.
No.
Yes, you do.
No.
If the public asks for you to identify, you must identify. My God. Smile it up. Smile it up, because this is going to be on freaking YouTube and you're going to be famous. Smile it up.
The police are now facing civil litigation. Hello, everybody. I'm David Schuster, and thanks for joining us. All of this began just before dawn on April the 23rd, 2022, with a call to 911.
What's the address of your emergency?
704 Horizon Drive. I heard gunshots outside on Horizon Drive, like within a minute ago.
How many did you hear?
Probably 4 or 5.
Moments later, emergency dispatch received a second call.
I just had a walk-in of a guy who got shot in the head by somebody else.
Aaron was staying at a nearby hotel. His friends were staying at a different hotel just down the street. They had traveled into Colorado for a marksmanship competition. Just a few hours after the street shooting, Aaron went to a gas station convenience store to buy supplies. He then called his friends.
I went to a gas station this morning to grab some stuff, and they were saying there was a shooting at 3 o'clock in the morning.
There was a shooting at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, so, at one of the shady hotels or something, I don't know. But yeah, so they have traffic blocked going out on the 70. So we might want to look to see if that's going to impact our route.
Aaron's friends were running late, so he drove back to his hotel to wait for them. En route, he missed a turn, put on a signal near the police activity, and did a U-turn. After a few minutes, his friends said they were ready. Aaron waited in the hotel driveway for them to pass so they could caravan together.
That you? Oh, yeah. Keep going.
Hold on.
He followed his friends to a nearby Exxon gas station. Both cars were 4-door sedans with the same dark color. Aaron pulled into a parking spot to wait for his friends. 30 seconds later, he was approached by Grand Junction police officer Tyler Posadas.
Can I help you?
Yeah. You want to roll down your window real quick?
No. What do you need?
I need you to identify yourself.
No, why?
Because
all right.
you're leaving the area.
Hold on.
Aaron said hold on so he could start recording the officer's face with a cell phone camera.
Don't worry, this is being recorded as well.
I know, but your recording is a lot easier, or it's a lot harder to get versus mine.
Okay,
So-
well, can you please roll down your window more?
No.
So I can talk to you.
No. What do you need?
All right, well, I need to identify you.
No, you do not.
My name is Officer Posadas with the Grand Junction Police Department, all right? And this is my corporal right here. This is Corporal Church
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
All right, so I need you to identify yourself.
No, that's not how it works. I have rights as an American citizen, right?
Yes, you do.
Yeah. You have to suspect me of committing an actual crime in order to identify. Failing to identify is a secondary offense. You have to have an actual charge, or you have to suspect me of committing a crime. You don't have that. You have nothing. I'm not going to identify simply because you see me park and you want to come up and identify me. That's not how it works.
So here, I'll clarify some things for you so you understand why I'm coming up and
Okay.
trying to contact you right now.
Okay.
Earlier in the night, there was a shooting that occurred right near the travel lodge.
Okay.
And your car is similar in description, a dark-colored sedan to
Okay.
the suspect vehicle.
Okay.
All right. So you're seen leaving the travel lodge.
Okay.
Information that's where the suspect might have come from.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. But do you have a license plate number? Do you have a description of the person? Do you have anything? No. You do not have articulable suspicion that I've done anything.
I actually do.
No, you do not.
Yeah.
No, you do not. I am not going to identify.
Okay, if you fail to identify yourself, I'm going to pull you out of this car and detain you for obstruction.
No.
Because right now you're interfering with my investigation.
No. I've done you do okay, so you have to have reasonable articulable suspicion that I have committed a crime. What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Possible attempted homicide.
Possible attempted homicide.
Yes.
You suspect me, actual me, of committing possible attempted homicide.
Well, your cooperative behavior right now does not help your cause.
No. Being cooperative or uncooperative, I'm not giving up my rights. When you give up your rights, you'll lose your rights eventually. I have rights as a free American. I've done absolutely nothing. I pulled into a gas station because my friends are here, because we're going to.
At this point, Officer Pisana tells Corporal Church to talk to Aaron's friends.
Hi guys, how we doing?
According to incident reports of the early morning shooting, police were looking for two suspects in a dark sedan, a black man and a white man. But back at Aaron's vehicle, Officer Pisana only mentions the race of one.
Excuse me, two people also stated that one of the suspects may be of African American descent.
Okay. Well, it's not me. I've done nothing. I am not going to identify, because you don't have that right to take that right from me. I've done nothing at all.
So if you've done nothing wrong, all you got to do is identify yourself, and then we can
that's not how it works. That's how people lose their rights, because law enforcement is always like, well, if you've done nothing, then you shouldn't be afraid. No, that is intimidation factors.
Aaron, I just need your information.
Absolutely not. No.
Aaron's friends matched the description of the white suspect, but police did not hassle them. Furthermore, by this point, according to incident reports, law enforcement knew the name of the black man they were seeking. And within minutes of talking with Aaron's friends and running Aaron's license plate, police confirmed Aaron was not that man.
Can we see some ID?
No, what for?
I just asked you.
What's your probable cause to ask me for ID?
It does not have a handicap placard.
Read the plate, man. You don't even know what you're talking about. DV, that's disabled veteran plate. We can park in handicapped spots.
Let me see some ID, please.
No.
I have never seen anybody wear a police academy
That's your
graduation
business.
after
That's
they
your business.
graduate.
I wear it all the time. Do my training, and I can do that because I'm a graduate. I can wear the uniform.
Have you
can
been
wear it.
certified as a peace
Of course.
officer?
I have my certification. What are you talking about? Why don't you run the plate?
So this is by far and away one of the best takedowns of a police squad that I've ever seen. Because they pulled up on my man, and not only did the captain of the squad, not only did he not realize that he wasn't parked in an illegal parking space because he had his disabled veteran license plate, but he also just flat out wasn't listening to him as he was giving his certifications. Which goes to show that oftentimes, whether it's people in authority who are police officers or people who are in any positions of authority, it can make you lazy because the uniform that you have on or the position that you're in, people are just supposed to do what you say. And you could see that throughout the entire video. Even at the end, when they started to walk away, the police captain and the other two officers, they didn't want to walk away because they had a point to prove, because they're the ones in authority, even though they were 100% wrong the entire time, even though he made mincemeat out of them. It doesn't matter. They're the ones in authority. So again, this goes to show why holding authority to account is so important. Because if you don't, then they'll just be lazy.
Do you mind holding off on leaving until I find out what's going on to see if you ask him? Because that's my captain. He's in charge of this.
He's not too smart, because first of all, even you know, if I have disabled veteran plate, I can park in a handicapped spot.
Yeah,
even you know
they
that.
Just changed
No,
that.
they didn't just change that.
Yeah,
It's been that way.
Well, it started in September that it was that way.
No, sir. It's been that way for years. I've had this for 5 years.
Well,
It's already
as far
been
as
that
I-
way.
as far as I know,
And if
September
he's a
they
captain,
changed
he
it.
should have known that. But he didn't.
I-
He just saw this, and he saw this, and he wanted to make a problem.
And come on now, let's be serious. Does parking in a handicapped space require multiple officers to come to the scene? I mean, I've parked in handicapped places before, and an officer, maybe they saw it and they just said, hey man, you don't have a handicap sticker, go ahead and move. And that's all they do, you know what I'm saying? And I'll do it because I don't have a handicap sticker. But these guys pulled up and they just wanted trouble because they thought that, well, he's in a handicap parking space, so there must be something going on here. If he was a white man, do you think that they would have bothered him whatsoever? And if they did, they would have said, hey man, next time. Actually, they wouldn't even told him to move. They probably would have been like, hey man, hey buddy, next time, go ahead and just park in another space because, sometimes you got people who come here, they may actually be handicapped and we don't want them to have to walk across the parking lot. So yeah, thanks bud. That's probably how that exchange would go.
Waste my time, and you're supposed to be a captain, and you don't know disabled plates have a right to park in a parking spot, and you violating people's rights, running up on them without probable cause. I'm in a uniform doing the same thing for you for free. So what? I don't care what he thinks. I'm a graduate and I have T-code certification. So I don't care what he says. I don't care what he says. I have T-code certification. I have T-code certification. Yes, I do. That's what you checked it. Who says who? My certification doesn't say expired. You want it to be expired because you see brown skin. So take a walk. Walk of shame.